to the FSF Popcast live show.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Guess what I forgot to check before I went live? Fantastic. So you guys are probably just hearing me now. I've been talking for the last 5 minutes, and I think probably my microphone is now just working. So anyway, that's great because it was trying to use my MacBook microphone, which is buried back behind. Yeah. So anyway, we've been talking about Chevy Chase. Been talking about number 5 was Fletch, not Fletch. Number 5 was Funny Farm, and why I liked that movie. So for those of you who didn't get to hear it, because clearly nobody got to hear it, so let's go back a little bit and recreate the magicless moments that happened. So number 5 was Funny Farm, and I like that movie because it's got good memories for me. It's got a lot of funny little bits. It's all about a sports writer from New York who wants to move out to the country, and he wants to write the great American novel. So him and his wife buy this really nice house. They pour all their life savings into it, and what can go wrong does go wrong, and it proceeds to come off the rails. And it's just a lot of fun for one of those type of movies. Moving along, now that we have a working microphone, we'll go to number 4. And as I said, but nobody heard me. Hello. How you doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for checking out the stream. So number 4 for me for Chevy Chase movies is the movie Caddyshack. Now, the reason I like Caddyshack is because it is funny. I'm a golf fan, and golf movies are always fun. And Chevy Chase has some great one-liners in this movie, but the thing that really makes this movie for me isn't Rodney Dangerfield, it's Bill Murray. And if it weren't for Bill Murray, I really don't think that this movie would have been as fun as it could have been. The beard is fantastic, by the way. Well, thank you very much. My wife would agree with you. It's grown on her. She likes it now. Yeah, so Caddyshack, highly enjoyable movie, but I don't think it would have been as good of a movie without Bill Murray. So that was number 4. So number 3 is the movie Fletch, which is all about an undercover reporter. And the thing I love about this movie is he's going out all these different places, and he's going undercover, and he's assuming all these identities. And oh man, there is so much about this movie that just cracks me up. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, however you decide to look at it, they did make a Fletch 2, and I can't say that Fletch 2 is very good. It has its moments. It has its moments that are funny, and there's still some lines from Fletch 2 that I use to this day. However, it's nowhere near as good as Fletch 1, and no offense to John Hamm, but I haven't even bothered watching the Fletch remake that he made. I like John Hamm. I think he's a fantastic actor, but I just had a hard time with the idea of Fletch being rebooted with somebody other than Chevy Chase. And I realize that Chevy Chase is an aged man now, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, no offense to John Hamm, rather. He's a fantastic actor and one heck of an announcer too for narration. So anyway, that was number 3. Number 2, and again, we are up towards my all-time favorites of movies, and just so happens that they are Chevy Chase movies. Number 2, Three Amigos. I absolutely adore this movie. So for those of you who don't know, we have a running joke with some friends of ours. For those of you who don't know, I'm 47. So about 10, 15 years ago, I had some heart issues, and I had to get them corrected. And I was having my heart was beating so much out of rhythm, so much, so often, so fast that my heart was getting chemically stopped and chemically reset multiple times a year until I had a heart surgery. Anyway, one of my friends, we'd have these 80s movies nights, and these friends of ours would come over. They'd have dinner with us. We'd watch the movie. We'd all laugh because we all enjoyed 80s movies, Chevy Chase movies, and that type of stuff. And I had texted him one day to let him know that we were supposed to meet him somewhere. I'm like, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. I have to go to the hospital to have my heart reset. And So we had just watched Three Amigos, and the running joke was, because of the line in there, "When you are dead, may I have your watch?" What's a little dark humor among friends, right? Right. Okay. But anyway, again, this is another one of those movies. It's fantastic with Chevy Chase, but it's fantastic because of the other actors. Martin Short and Steve Martin are a wonderful comedic duo. I think the Only Murders in the Building on Hulu kind of proves that. Um, they are fantastic together. They work well together, and the three of them together work phenomenally in this movie. Um, yeah, it's just the whole scene with everybody riding through the desert and they're dying of thirst, and they have sand. Steve Martin and Martin Short have no water in their canteens. One of them has sand in their canteen, and like Chevy Chase has an endless supply, and he's just drinking, 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 and he throws his canteen on the ground, gets out some chapstick, and I don't know. That whole scene cracks me up. There's a lot of scenes in Three Amigos that are highly entertaining and a whole lot of fun to watch. So yeah, that is my number two. So what is the big kahuna, the big enchilada, the number one movie from Chevy Chase? Well, I'll be real honest with you. I couldn't pick one. I couldn't. I tried. I looked at it and I went, well, what movies would I want to pick if I were to do just one? And I couldn't. So here they are. Spies Like Us and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Uh I absolutely adore Spies Like Us, but I can never watch it with my wife. And this is not an overstatement. This is not a joke. Every single time we have tried to watch Spies Like Us, my wife has fallen asleep. She has always fallen asleep. That movie is like NyQuil for her. I don't understand it. I mean, between me quoting the lines and laughing out loud, she shouldn't be able to sleep, but she does. She pulls it off magically somehow. So yeah, Spies Like Us is just that's like my 1A, and 1B is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Because to me, the great thing about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is it doesn't matter what time of year you watch it. You don't even necessarily have to celebrate Christmas to appreciate the humor of this movie, because there is so much packed into that movie with Cousin Eddie and the hostage scene, and him, Chevy Chase, just absolutely losing his crap, going off about, his boss screwing him out of his year-end bonus, getting the Jelly of the Month Club. Well, that's the gift that just keeps on giving, Clark. Going off, no good for flushing, that whole thing. There are so many things about this movie that are absolutely fantastic. And but yeah, I absolutely adore both of these movies, and as much as I enjoy the other ones, it's honestly a tie between, and I almost made it a three-way tie with Three Amigos, because one of those three movies I can sit down and watch at any time. If I had a choice between them and Star Wars, I'm still choosing Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Star Wars guy till the day I die. But these guys are right up there. They're pretty close. So yeah, that is the those are the number ones, the 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, if it's just good, good old fashioned humor, I guess is the best way to put it. And I wish that they made movies more like those right now, because it'd be kind of fun, and have, instead of the reboot, remake, reboot, remake, reboot, remake that we seem to be having right now. And hey, guys, just if you haven't yet, as it says along the ticker going along the bottom, if you haven't already, please remember to click like and subscribe. Now, we won't always have the awesome technical difficulties and me speaking without a mic that we had tonight, especially because, new streaming service, kind of figured out a couple things as to what was going on. And I think I'm kind of getting the hang of this. New buttons, new button arrangements, trying to figure it all out. But yeah, we're pretty excited about the new streaming service and what to use and how to use and all these type of things. But if you haven't checked us out yet, on any of the other places, we have a Patreon channel, which we're going to get back into putting stuff on it. It's been a little bit since we've done that, but yeah, check it out. You can sign up for free on our Patreon channel. There is a bunch of free stuff on there. And you can sign up for as little as $1 and get some cool stuff. But yeah, you can check us out wherever you get your favorite podcast platforms, and of course here on YouTube. So, guys, thank you so much for being my guinea pigs. Thank you so much for allowing us to, and I say us, I mean John, Kathleen, Ben, and I, to come into your guys' homes and share our nerdy fun with you. And we hope you guys have a great night. And on that note, goodbye.
Copyright 2024 FSF Podcast. Reference to any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF Podcast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this